voices in a couple seconds. You are live, Mr. President. I'm just going to wait to check the audio. Oh, where? That's right. We could hear me. All right, and you.
All right, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Board of Education meeting. Happy to see so many of our students here for their recognition and eager to get on to that item. Before we do, we're going to open the meeting with a call to order, reading of the open public meeting statement, which reads, the New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law is enacted to ensure the right of the public to advance notice of and to attend the meetings of public bodies at which time any business affecting their interests is discussed and acted. In accordance with the provisions of this Act and Board of Education Policy 0162, the Board of Education of the Borough of Bound Brook has posted notice of this meeting to be posted in the board office in the Bound Brook High School and mailed or faxed to the Courier News, Bound Brook, or the South Bound Brook Board of Education, and any person who has requested individual notices. Please rise. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Mr. Lucio, roll call, please.
Yes, sir. Mr. Bell.
Here.
Mr. Dawson. Here. Ms. Casino.
Here.
Ms. beg your pardon, Mr. Zupko.
Here.
Ms. Moosen.
Here.
Mr. Minhas. Ms. Hine.
Here.
Mr. Bulmer. Here. Mr. Januzzi.
Here.
And Ms. Lehman. Mr. President, you have a quorum present this evening.
Thank you very much. We are going to skip right over the president's comments and get into our superintendent's report. I apologize, I must have an old copy of the agenda. We're up to item number 1.4, then we're swearing in our new board member, our representative from South Falmouth. Mr. Murphy? Yes, sir.
Ms. Carlton, would you please join me at the podium? Yes, that would work. This is the required oath for school board members pursuant to NJSA 18A 12-2.1 and NJSA 41:1-1 and 1-3. I
Jennifer Carlton,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and this state
and this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
I
Jennifer Carlton,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear
that I possess the qualifications prescribed by law
the qualifications prescribed by law
for the office of member of a Board of Education,
for the office of member of a Board of Education,
and that I am not disqualified as a voter
and that I am not disqualified as a voter
pursuant to RS 19:4-1
sorry, pursuant to RS 19-4-1. Sorry,
nor disqualified due to conviction of a crime
nor disqualified due to conviction of a crime
or offense
or offense
listed in NJS 18A 12-1,
listed in NJS 18A 12-1,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties of that office
perform all the duties of that office
according to the best of my abilities, so help me God.
according to the best of my ability, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Sign here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
Thank you, Mr. Gorski, and thank you, Jennifer, for offering to serve. We're excited to have you on the team this year. Look forward to working with you. All right, Dr. Freeman, up to you for the superintendent's report.
Okay, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our January 31st board meeting. It is so good to see everyone out in the audience. At this time, we're going to do one of our favorites. We're going to call out the students of the month. If we could have Dr. S come on up front and recognize our students from Lamont and Lamont Managed Schools.
Congratulations to Stephen Deloach, currently kindergarten student in Mrs. Pemberton's class. His favorite school subject is math. His favorite hobbies are Legos, playing hockey, going to karate class. His career plans, he wants to become a ninja. Reason Stephen was selected, Stephen is such a sweet and smart student. He loves to learn and is always willing to help others. Stephen has really pushed himself out of his comfort zone this year and has taken on challenges like a rock star. Congratulations, Stephen.
Come on up, Stephen. That's like a legend to me.
Congratulations to Violetta Rosa Reyes, currently in preschool in Mrs. Chaparro's class. Favorite school subject is learning letters. Favorite hobby is playing with toys and her baby brother. Career plans is police officer like her dad. Mrs. Chaparro picked Violetta to be student of the month because she's always quick to offer help to her friends in the classroom. She's also a great friend to everyone in the class and always has a smile to give. Congratulations, Violetta.
Okay, next school, we have Ms. Gas.
Our first student of the month is Mason Guerra.
Come on up, Mason. Let's give Mason a round of applause. Perfect haircut. Great outfit.
He's always dressed in nice, Mason. Mason is in first grade. He's in Mrs. Khan's class. He has a little sister. He loves math and art. His favorite hobbies are taekwondo, running, arts and crafts, and playing with his pet dog named Chase. He wants to drive an ice cream truck or work at ShopRite.
Sharp flash your wings here. Good job.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And our next student of the month is Salome Chica Martinez. She's from Miss Butrago's class, grade. She has a sister. Her favorite school subject is math and phonics. She likes to draw and watch TV, and she wants to be a famous YouTuber and a professional ice skater. She's moving, so we're gonna miss her so much. So she's such a big help. So we're gonna miss you so much, Sally.
Who's your favorite YouTuber?
Who's your favorite?
Mr. Beast?
Congratulations again. Next up from Smalley School, we have Mrs. Carbone.
Okay, our first student of the month is Juan B. from Miss Perez's class.
Come on up, Juan B. Again, perfectly dressed and smile.
So proud of you. Juan is in 3rd grade in Miss Perez's class. Juan has a sibling. He says, my amazing sister, she is 23 years old, and my nephew Julian goes to Small League with me and is 12 years old. His favorite school subject is math, and he says, I love being able to count and multiply numbers. His favorite hobbies, he says, I love playing board games with my family. His career plans say, I want to be a veterinarian to help out all of the animals. Y yo quiero decir a sus padres, muchísimas gracias para venir aquí. Siempre él porta bien, su comportamiento es casi perfecto y él siempre está muy feliz. Estoy muy orgulloso de él. Okay, entonces muchísimas gracias. Our second student of the month is Penelope from Miss Poker's class.
Come on up, Penelope. What a smile.
Okay, Penelope is in 4th grade in Miss Coker's class. She has a sibling named Peyton who's 6 years old. Her favorite subject in school is reading. What are you reading right now? Oh, I love that book. And her favorite hobbies are drawing. And she loves drawing so much that when she grows up, she wants to be an artist. I'm so proud of you. Okay, let's go take a picture.
Let's have another round of applause.
Next, I'm going to call down Salomon from Ms. Fernandez's class.
Solomon, come on down.
Congratulations. Okay, Solomon is in 5th grade in Ms. Fernandez's class. For siblings, she says, I have one brother and he is older. Her favorite subject in school is math, and her favorite hobby is, do you remember? To roller skate. Good. Okay. When she gets older, she says, I dream of becoming a teacher when I grow up.
Yes, that is awesome.
De ella, yo fui a sus clases muchas veces y siempre ella tiene su mano arriba y ella respuesta siempre que bien. Okay.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And our last student of the month, I'm going to call down Melanie from Mr. Osborne's class.
Come on down, Melanie.
Okay. Melanie is in 6th grade in Mr. Osborne's class, and they got to go to the Franklin Institute in Philadelphia today. Melanie says, I have 2 siblings, 1 brother and 1 sister. Both are older than me. Her favorite school subject is social studies. And she says, I love to play basketball and soccer. When she gets older, she's going to be very, very busy because she's going to be a veterinarian and a baker. Congratulations, Leilani.
Cookies or cake?
Congratulations, Leilani. And next up, for Community Middle School, we have Dr. Sandy Sermon.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome. So our first student of the month, the Community Middle School is proud to recognize Mark Palacios. Mark was nominated by his science teacher, Ms. Cradatis. Mark has 2 siblings, and his favorite subjects are language arts, math, science, and social studies. That is a lot of favorites. Favorite hobby is playing soccer, and number 1 dream is to become a professional soccer player. Outside of that, we're going to figure it out with the job, but that's not specified at this time. All right, Mark, come on up.
Come on up, Mark. Congratulations.
No, just, you guys drifted that way. Congratulations.
Our next student of the month is Joseph Avila Cordero. Joseph is an 8th grade student at the Community Middle School and has been nominated by his science teacher, Miss Esposito. Joseph has 4 siblings and favorite subject is math, especially likes to listen to and memorize formulas. It's close to my heart. I'm a former math teacher, so I enjoy that. Favorite hobbies are taekwondo, drawing, and video games. And when he grows up, and I really love this part, wants to be a software engineer and take after his sister, who is obviously a very big role model in his life. And he enjoys the information that he shares. And I know you'll reach that dream. Come on up, Joseph.
Next up, from our high school, Mr. Smith.
All right, unfortunately, our first recipient cannot be with us this evening, but I'll read his little bio description anyway. So we have William Sawyer, son of Christina and William. William is an only child. William actually interns here with our technology department and does a tremendous job. This is a good segue into his favorite school subject, which is computer science. His favorite hobbies are playing, I think it's an online gaming site called Magic the Gathering. And his future career plans are to study computer science and cybersecurity. Congratulations, William. All right, next we have Nicole Rivera. Nicole?
Nicole, come on down.
Okay, Nicole, daughter of Yesenia Callejas. Nicole has 2 siblings, Kenya and Jean Carlos. Nicole's favorite subject in school right now is English. Yeah. Favorite hobbies definitely include playing sports, especially volleyball, and spending time with her mom. She hopes to attend a 4-year college or university to study to become an ultrasound technician. So congratulations, Nicole. Thank you. All right, next we have a female Sawyer, Caitlin Sawyer. Caitlin here. Come on down, Caitlin. Caitlin, daughter of Dave and Francia. Caitlin has 0 siblings and is an only child, correct? Yes. Favorite subject in school is geometry. Caitlin enjoys doing homework and watching movies. And her future career plans is to become a real estate agent in the future. So congratulations. Last but not least, Darren Allen Litton Niles. Darren? All right, Darren, son of Justin and Diane. Darren has 3 siblings, Jalen, Jenna, and Janine. Darren enjoys his favorite subjects in school, entrepreneurship, Spanish, and music. He enjoys playing basketball and building things, which is a good segue into his future career plans, which is to become an electrician or a carpenter. Congratulations. Thank you.
One last round of applause for all of our students of the month. And of course, we can't forget our parents, because without you, they wouldn't be where they are today, so we appreciate you as well. Okay, next up, we have our employees of the month. I would like to call Dr. S up, along with Ms. Fishner, to receive her award.
This month's GEM recipients are dedicated and compassionate school nurse, Nurse Christina. Nurse Christina has not only fulfilled the responsibility of a school nurse, but has gone above and beyond in providing care, support, and compassion to our students. Nurse Christina offers a listening ear, a caring heart, a reassuring smile to students who may be feeling unwell. Her nurturing approach eases the worries of parents and guardians, knowing their children are in capable and caring hands. Nurse Christina also actively promotes health education and wellness within our school. She's organized workshops and events that have empowered her students with knowledge about healthy lifestyles and the importance of preventative care. Her efforts have not only benefited our students, but also foster a healthier school environment. In recognition of your outstanding contributions to our school and your dedication to the health and well-being of our students, we present you with the GEM Award. Congratulations, Nurse Christina. Thank you for being the heart and soul of our school's health and wellness. We are truly fortunate to have you as part of our school family. Thank you, Dr. Ross.
Good job.
Next up, we have Ms. Picado come up front, and Dr. Sandy Summer will present her award.
The Community Middle School is proud to recognize Genesis Picado as the January 2024 Employee of the Month for the Bound Brook School District. Ms. Picado is a graduate of Bound Brook High School, a graduate of Montclair University, and is in the process of enrolling in a master's program for social work at Montclair. Ms. Picado is serving as a teacher associate this year at CMS and is tasked with assisting families facilitating instruction for our multilingual learners in math, science, and social studies. As a fluent Spanish speaker, Ms. Picado is able to bridge the language gap that ensures students will have full understanding of classroom material. Ms. Picado helps students understand lessons and activities, clarifies and responds to students' questions, and helps modify classwork in order to provide appropriate and necessary accommodations. The impact our teacher associates, and specifically Ms. Picado, have had in the classroom is immeasurable. Ms. Picado has helped break down barriers to learning that in the past have been a point of struggle for both student and teacher. From the perspective of a child, who is trying to learn but does not yet speak the language of their teacher, school can be a frustrating place. With Ms. Picado's help and guidance, students are now more engaged, eager to learn and ask questions, and have grown in confidence both academically and socially. In addition to her classroom responsibilities, Ms. Picado has assisted in multiple mediations with students and conversations with families. Oftentimes, these conversations involve difficult and emotional topics. Ms. Picado participates in these discussions with a level of poise and professionalism that makes it seem as though she's been doing this for many years. Students and parents alike respond to her kind and compassionate approach and understand that regardless of the topic or circumstance, Ms. Picado has the best interests of children in mind. As one of Ms. Picado's former teachers, and on behalf of a grateful and appreciative staff at the Community Middle School, I would like to say thank you for your dedication and for making such a remarkable and positive impact on the lives of our students.
One last round of applause for our Okay, at this time, we have one more group of people that I would like to recognize. Now, these people aren't in the audience. They're actually up here on the stage. In honor of School Board of Education Recognition Month, I'd like to take a moment to thank our outstanding Board of Education for all their hard work and dedication to our students, teachers, parents, and administration. Working with you over the past year and a half, it's been an absolute honor. Your commitment to working collaboratively to ensure that we as a district provide our students and families with the best education experience possible is such a blessing to our school community. We want you to know just how appreciated you are. Although there is no amount of compensation that we could give for the valuable service that you provide to our school community, we have left a small token of appreciation next to your name tags when you get a minute to rest. Again, thank you for your service. We appreciate you and look forward to working with you going forward. Let's have a round of applause for our
At this time, why don't we have everybody come down to the front of the room? We can take a picture with all the students and families on stage. We'll make space for another set. Everybody come on up so we can take a picture.
all students and parents, come on up. Los estudiantes y los padres, ven acá, por favor. Is that okay?
Yeah, Mr. Beast is great. You watch the puppy video? Of course you watched the puppy video.
Actually, I don't.
And right there, there's stairs. And we'll stand in the back. Right in front of us is good. Right, you can make a front row in front of us. Congratulations, guys. Sit on down. Congratulations. You guys did great. Right in line. Oh, we're making a back row. Oh, nice. Yeah, don't worry about this. Got this stuff. All right.
Thank you, sir. All right. Cheese? All right, good job.
They need a little hit. Just please don't fall. You can walk over. I just work. That's your job. That's true.
I teach you.
It's a different level. I would say.
Well, you picked a good place. It's nice to see you.
What's the password?
Okay, we're gonna take a quick break from the meeting just to give everybody an opportunity to decide if they want to say or go. But before we do, I just wanted to remind everybody in the audience that we are going to be having a strategic planning meeting to discuss the 5-year plan for the district tomorrow evening, 6 o'clock. In the cafeteria, anybody in the community is welcome to join us. Thank you.
Right? You're gonna do so good in your new school, okay? For her on Friday? Okay. We're gonna miss her. We'll miss her so much.
I think it's over. We are gonna do that, but it's on.
Very fun. Is your shirt on?
And you were unmuted.
All right, guys, we're back in session. And at this point, we are up to our committee meeting reports. We will start with education. Mr. Dawson.
Thank you, Mr. President. Education Committee met earlier this month. Our discussion this month focused mostly around the high school program of studies and work that's being done mainly to make sure that the course of studies can be clearly understood by all the stakeholders in the district and helping our students understand the pathways and opportunities that are afforded to them by the programming in the district, whether they are a CP student, honors student, an AP student, and trying to make sure that the programming we offer is understood by all of our students and that their course requests are made in the most informed possible way, looking at possibly designing future programming around the needs we can identify based on conversations with those students. We are pleased to hear that there's a renewed effort to make sure students fully understand their options and how the district can serve them, and also how we can take a look at how we can respond to the needs of the students in the future and make sure everyone is served in the best possible way. So it's really exciting work to make sure that our students and our families and our staff are really aware of all the great options that are available to our students in a clear, concise way that really showcases all the work that we have to offer and how we can support our staff and our administrators in creating the most optimal situation that will let kids graduate and be college and career ready, and do so in a way that everyone understands and is on the same page. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Dawson. Any comments or questions for education? All right. Hearing none, we will go over to Mr. Powell for governance.
Okay, I have quite a few small items. The first thing we discussed was our onboarding procedure for new members, which we've talked about before, but this time, because we do have a new South Bound board member, we wanted to make sure that she has everything that she needs as she joins the board. So I had attended, one of the sessions I had attended down in Atlantic City at the conference was all kind of gave you a list of all of the things that a new member should have. So I forwarded that list over to Dr. Freeman, and he was pretty confident that she has been or will be given everything that she needs. But if there's anything you need that isn't on that list, please don't hesitate to let us know. Hopefully you got all the emails and everything that you need to contact someone to get that information. But going forward, we plan to have that ready for all new members. Hopefully all of us stay, forever, but if we ever get new board members, we have to be ready for that. Secondly, we just asked for an update on the strategic planning meetings. These numbers are probably a bit out of date at this point, but as of last Monday, we had 23 replies from the link. That is not including board members, administrators. We had also reached out personally to the council where they're going to send 2 members. The police department will be sending our SRO. So we have been reaching out to as many people as we can. I've reached out to a few people since then, so we will see what numbers we get. But as of last week, we were expecting about 40. Could be more than that by now. Dr. Freeman has already posted the agenda for the first meeting in Board Docs. If you didn't see it, it is there now. Let's see what else. Okay, committee assignments. You know this already because it was sent out this afternoon. The only change that I was aware of is that Sue wanted to be added to education. If there was anybody else who wanted to change or an addition, I think we already asked that question, but if you want to change at this point, let us know before we get going really for the new year. Hopefully we can accommodate that change for you, but I think we're set at this point. The next one, Lisa, this is mostly for you actually. We talked about the ad hoc committees that we had added, yours being the only one at this point, and whether or not we want to continue them. And we figured Mr. Januzzi thinks, but we wanted to confirm with you that you've kind of reached the goals that you had set at the beginning of the committee meetings, but we wanted to talk to you and see what you want to do as far as continuing with that committee. And that's not something you have to answer at this moment, of course, But how do we want to move forward with the athletics and extracurricular committee is our question to you as the chairperson.
Okay.
Right, so let us know if that's something you want to do every month, if it's something you want to do as needed, or something you think can end at this time. It's really, more of a group decision than me and Mr. Canuzzi sitting in a committee and talking about it. You can just be on that decision as well. Okay, and the last thing that we discussed briefly was Mr. Zupko's favorite topic, Ed Council. So, without boring you with all the details, Dr. Freeman put forth a really good plan of what Ed Council could look like. That's something that we have to probably discuss with the BDEA as well, so there's no need to really discuss it here yet until we talk to them. But he does have an idea of how we can make things run a little bit more smoothly. So we're hoping that maybe if everybody agrees, we can bring that back in some form or fashion as, it is in the contract. So it's something we should probably look into. And that is the end of my report.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Any comments or questions on governance?
Just have a question. The Ed Council meeting, it would be something that I would like to discuss with Dr. Freeman privately. It has a storied past, and it's interesting. So we'll talk about it.
Story. Sounds good.
Thank you, Mr. Zupko. Any other comments or questions? All right, thank you, Mr. Bell. We are moving on to human resources. So one of the other committee assignment changes that we had, Sue is actually going to be stepping forward and serving as chair of our HR committee this year, so thank you, Sue, for that. And with that, I will let you take it away with your report.
Okay. We have a few things going on with HR, and one, and you'll see on the agenda that there are a number of new hires that we're really just so happy to see. The Director of IT, school psychologist, LDTC, Spanish in high school, etc. And along with hires, we also have some resignations here and there. It's all in this month's agenda. We also discussed during the meeting, it's called Meru Health, and this is an online program. It was launched out, and it really is a counseling program, and it has been received very well by staff, and it's open to employees, to their spouses and children, just a wide range. Again, it's gotten a very favorable review so far, and HR continues to just reach out to them with any questions, and flyers are going to be sent out periodically to staff so that they don't have a million things all at once, so they have some readings that are pertinent. And again, any questions that they have, we go right through HR. They have a 6-week and an 8-week program, so it's pretty comprehensive. We're also, one of the things with HR that is continual really is just looking at the responsibilities, job descriptions, etc. And it was looking at, prior to having candidates come in, just to look at, to make sure that all certifications are there, so that when they do come for interviews, it's very clear and everybody's just ready for interviews. Contracts all go through HR, and also any tuition reimbursement from staff, they go right through HR, and all those processes are being streamlined just so that it's easier to understand, really to get through. Also, there's a creation of the data secretary, and just again, looking at the qualifications, because from the get-go, really to have a strong description of what is needed to make the district really move forward. So there were a couple of things that we discussed, just language fluencies, just expertise in writing reports and being very analytical with the data, but not only being analytical, but being able to share that data so that it's very easily understood by all. And I think that's it for HR. We are still ongoing with negotiations with the association, and we're going to be having a meeting in a week or so. And now that's it.
All right, thanks very much, Sue. Any questions from the members on the HR committee? All right, thanks very much, Sue. We will shift over to Roger for operations.
So this is gonna be a shared sort of presentation, because I was not there, so I'm gonna go off some excellent notes that Sue had taken. I'm also going to then do my normal bunding it to Mike. So we talked about, the first thing was insurance premium updates. And Mr. Gorski, please, before I get into the budget, or you get into the budget, you can, add your 2 cents. Insurance premium updates in relation to flood insurance was already budgeted. We're talking about 2 categories. Do you want to further get into that?
Yes, sir. We have 2 categories, as you mentioned, property and casualty insurance, which includes flood, and also health insurance. And some of the preliminary information that we've received from the carriers as far as premium projections for next year are somewhat unfavorable. The property and casualty projections are increasing anywhere from 5 to 20%, depending on the policy. And that's because of increase in property values, bus prices have all gone up, the used prices, and the replacement value goes up. And some of the claims experience in the district with property damage has also contributed to some of the property increases. So workers' comp is one of the lower ones to go up because our facility director does a great job of maintaining safety and for our staff in the schools. And one of the more troubling ones is the most material of the premiums, which is health insurance. Last year, you may recall, we had a 0% increase. That was because of a year of advantageous claims and very aggressive negotiating with carriers and getting competitive quotes. This year, our claims experience has really fallen off a cliff and has been one of the worst claims years in about 7. The reason for that are specific catastrophic claims, and even though they are covered by a catastrophic claims insurance policy separate, it's still issued by Horizon, so when they renew, you're still paying for it somewhat in premiums. We're aggressively negotiating that, and we have a very good broker who's of great assistance, and we're going to go to the marketplace and get competitive quotes from carriers, Aetna being one of them, because they're most similar to Horizon. And we're also waiting further months of claims information for December so we can complete the whole annual look at that. So we're on top of it. It's just that we have been facing headwinds from bad claims, both in property and casualty and health insurance.
Excellent. Well, thank you for your addition to that. The next section that I was really happy to look at was the bus driver compensation. We're looking currently, again, Mr. Gorski, because I was not at the meeting, it was $25 an hour, and it's looking to go up. You want to expand on that a little bit?
Yes, if I recall correctly, it's going up to $30 an hour for bus driver rate, which is the new norm as far as our colleagues are increasing to. So to attract the best drivers with the best safety records, that's a comparable rate.
The third section of the operations meeting was budget. Now this, because I was not there, you are the budget guru, and I will then let you take the budget issues so we can discuss our updates.
Thank you. I may be the guru assembling the budget, but Dr. Freeman is the one providing the vision. And similar to last year, this budget is focusing heavily on curriculum and instruction because there have been years of underfunding in the district, and there's a lot of pent-up demand, particularly in special ed bilingual programs. So we are adding new programs, we're adding new staff, and this is the last year of increases in state aid to bring us to full funding under the revision to the school funding formula called S2. So hopefully when state aid is released at the end of the month, we'll have an attractive increase like last year, which will afford for a lot of the programs that the principals and directors have put into the budget thus far. And I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of the principals and directors for all of their hard work with budgets. The input into our budget software program has been very comprehensive, and to my recollection, Dr. Freeman and I have not made a single change so far, but that is subject to the state aid award, of course.
Thank you, Mr. Gorski. I know that as long as I've been here, budgets have been contentious and have had a situation where everyone biting their nails. But I believe I speak for the board. We are very confident in our administration and thankful ahead of time relations in dealing with the budget and doing the best possible situations that you are presented with. So we appreciate everything that everyone is doing. I do know there was also talk about a school sign update design in relation to the small school sign. So that seems a little interesting. If anyone wants to throw in on that?
Yeah, maybe I can take that one for you.
Sure.
So there was storm damage at Smalley School, and the larger sign in front of the building was actually damaged. So we're in the process of building and in the process of replacing it. In conjunction with that, we've been looking at our branding around the district and trying to standardize wherever possible. So we are trying to take the opportunity presented here to create kind of a new standard image for school districts and something that we can reuse from school to school. So that's still, I believe, in the design phases, but likely will be done very shortly, and hopefully we'll get a nice new sign at Smalley School very soon.
Excellent. That sounds phenomenal. There were also discussions in relation to Rod grant, Mr. Gorski.
Mr. Zupko, if you would humor me, I have a map with the resolutions for board action.
Excellent.
That I'm sort of introduced, because there's a number of resolutions and I want to just simplify.
We will get back to that. And finally, the fences at the football field. We understand it's progressing very nicely.
Yes.
And we're appreciative of that. Final topic I have here, Lafayette School water. We need a third party to come and assess.
Yes, Mr. Zupko, we had 2 referrals today from the architect of record for professional service providers. I believe they're engineers, and we are soliciting quotes from both of them to come out and just offer a third-party assessment of the problems with the water seepage into the basement that we've experienced so far, and if the remedies provided by the contractor is going to satisfy that long-term and give the board and the community value on that investment to that expansion.
Excellent. I thank you, everyone. Appreciate it. And Mr. President, that is the operations meetings for this week.
Thanks very much, Roger. Any comments or questions from the members regarding operations? Hearing none, I will say thank you, Roger. Athletics and co-curricular did not meet this round, and the Somerset County Educational Services Commission meets in the first week of February, so we'll look forward to that report during our meeting in February. So before we wrap up, any other comments or questions in general regarding committees? All right. Again, a great job. I have the pleasure of sitting through most of the committee meetings. I got the opportunity to skip governance this time, so that's a plus. But again, I'm very appreciative and impressed by all the work that gets done by our volunteers and our staff in these meetings. It's really what we dive into the issues and understand the right way to move forward. So just making sure you all know how much I appreciate that work. At this time, we are open to the public for agenda items only. In accordance with District Policy 0167, which governs public participation in board meetings, members of the public must sign in at the podium or online, provide their name, address, and group affiliation if applicable. Public participation is limited to 3 to 5 minutes in duration, and no participant may speak more than once on the same topic until all others who wish to speak on that topic have been heard. At this time, are there any comments from those in the room? Seeing none, I will ask if there are any online. I'm getting ahead, not that there are none.
There are none.
So we will close item 5 and move to item 6.1. Be it resolved that the Bound Brook Board of Education On recommendation of the superintendent, approves the minutes of the following meetings. This is regular and executive meeting minutes of December 20th, 2023, as well as item 6.2, which are the minutes of our reorganization meeting from January 3rd, 2024. May I have a motion? Thank you, Ms. Hyde. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Wilson. Any discussion? All right, hearing none, Mr. Gorski, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, sir, and let the record show that Ms. Carlton is now officially seated on the board and she'll be replacing
Can't hear you, Jen, I'm sorry.
my microphone's not working. Ms. Carlton is now seated at the board after being sworn in, and she's going to replace Ms. Lehman. Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson?
Yes.
Ms. Gazino?
Yes.
Ms. Carlton?
Abstain.
So noted. Mr. Zupko?
Yes.
Ms. Musin?
Yes.
Mr. Minhas?
Yes.
Ms. Hyde?
Yes.
Mr. Palmer?
Yes.
Mr. Januzzi?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 7.1, resolve that the superintendent recommends for approval the resolutions as outlined in district personnel resolutions. This is item 7.2 through 7.44. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Bauer. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Zupko. Just to kick off the discussion, I will note for our newest member that we break this section up into two whole pieces. One of them is noted with an asterisk. Those are for middle and elementary items. So those are things that wouldn't affect South Mountain. And then anything that's not marked that way would apply to the high school and or the district in its entirety. Any comments or questions? For 7.
For 7.
I just have a real quick one. Just that I really like Cynthia's 7.13 and 7.31, just to see the internships that are taking place and the mentoring experiences, because that is so important to have somebody just there to model for you, to answer questions. I'm just always happy when I see that we have volunteers in the district doing that.
So, thanks, Ms. Hyde. Any other comments or questions?
Yes. Question on 7, 9, and 710 with the NJPA tutoring, SAT tutoring. Is this strictly voluntary or is it mandatory?
For the kids and the
For the
teachers.
kids.
For the
So
kids.
the kids, they don't have to come, but it's an option for them to come. But they will be encouraged to come. It's not mandatory.
How do we, or how are we encouraging those who need it to come? Is it just someone just throwing it out there and saying, hey, here's your money, come and get it? Or are we actually being proactive and saying, Tommy, this is something you really benefit from, would like to see you?
Do you actively go to the classrooms of 11th graders? Yes.
I just want to know how we're promoting it so that the kids that really need it can get it.
The parents who need, the students who really need it, what happens is the letters are sent home to the parents are called, told of the importance and where they are in terms of their progress. They're strongly recommended that they attend. Now, we can't make a parent bring them if they don't come, but it's strongly recommended, it's tied into their progress, and the benefit of attending is strongly impressed upon them. We have a pretty high success rate, both during the year and after school, but so that's how we go about getting them to come.
Thank you.
And if I could just maybe ask one more follow-up question. This is in regards to tutoring above and beyond any instruction or support that the general students are receiving during the regular school day, because I believe there are some programs embedded within the classroom and the coursework that are supposed to prepare the students to take these tests.
Yeah, so this isn't done after school hours. This is an additional, like a tutoring session for students. And last year when we did, so this is a repeat from last year. Last year when it was done, there was like a line out the door of kids who wanted to be a part of it. So it's very popular and effective.
Yeah, so it's a test taking strategies, skills, environment as well. So we're teaching them how to manage the tests. And it's been a very successful piece. And we do go to the classrooms and we promote it over and over again. What time, where to show up, where to be. And for the NJGPA, we had so many people that we had to create 2 rooms. So it's been a very successful event.
Other questions or comments?
I was gonna ask in the next section when we approve, but this is at no charge to.
Can't hear you, can't hear.
I'm sorry. I was gonna
Yeah.
ask in the next section. This is at no charge. to the
No,
students.
the only cost is for us to hire the staff members
Right.
to work the extra hours to do this, but the students have no charge at all.
We'll talk about the arrangement and governance next time. But you guys on the left, in case you didn't hear, Joanna was asking about incremental cost to the participants. And Mrs. Griffin confirmed there was no cost to participate, only the cost that obviously incurred to staff. Any other questions or comments? Hearing none, can we have a roll call, please?
Sure. Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson?
Yes.
Ms. Gazino?
Yes.
Ms. Carlton?
Abstain.
So noted. Mr. Zupko?
Yes.
Ms. Musa?
Yes.
Mr. Minhas?
Yes.
Ms. Hyde?
Yes.
Mr. Ballmer?
Yes.
Mr. Januzzi?
Yes.
Motion passes.
Excellent. We are up to item 8.1. Be it resolved that the Bangor Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in district education resolutions. These are items 8.2 to 8.18. May I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Minhas. A second?
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Hyde. Discussion.
I'm very encouraged about all the social events, especially with all the cultural diversity and awareness. It's really very enthusiastic to see that. The one comment that I have, maybe just something that just was glaring for me, was on section 8.5. I mentions about a French bakery. I don't know if you guys are aware of this, but Paris Baguette is actually a South Korean bakery. It's a South Korean chain, so maybe it's just an FYI. I have no problems with folks wanting to go to a bakery, but to be calling it a French bakery, I just want to correct it.
Well, I'm looking at it, let me see, I may be reading it wrong, but it says be resolved the Department of Board of Education recommendation approves a field trip for Pierre Ab, French teacher, to take the STAR program to Paris again. So was the French teacher taking it?
Yes.
So, but it's not not, what I'm saying is, it doesn't say that's a French.
If you look at the attachment that goes along with it.
All right, so we'll have to correct that.
Yeah, that's all. It's when I saw it, I'm like, wait a minute. I know my South Korean, so. But yeah, but no, overall with the cultural awareness and the diversity, it's really awesome to see.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Minhas. Any other comments or questions?
I have one. It's 8.3, and it really goes along with the, helping the kids after school. This is with the SAT program, the tutor. I was just wondering, how is that received? Do you get the numbers for that too, for the SAT program?
We had to expand last year, we had one classroom, it was something we started last year, we had to expand it to, it was standing room only, so who knows this time we have 3 or 4, but students are really taking advantage. And it also, it definitely, in a short period of time, has an impact, because we all know that sometimes it's not just knowing your content, but it's knowing how to take a test, which is what an SAT prep class does, so it really makes a difference.
Thank you.
To add to that, when I was a kid, I took an SAT tutoring prep, and with all the test taking advice and everything, it really helped me a lot, because I'm one of those kids that got real nervous at test taking time, especially with something like this at a national level or even on the state level. So, from a personal experience, this is really awesome.
And again, no charge to the kid.
Any other comments for section 8? Roll call.
Mr. Bell?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson?
Yes.
Ms. Guzino.
Yes.
Ms. Carlton.
Abstain.
So noted. Mr. Zupko.
Yes.
Ms. Musin.
Yes.
Mr. Minhas. Yes. Ms. Hyde.
Yes.
Mr. Fulmer.
Yes.
And Mr. Januzzi.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. Item 9.1, be it resolved that the Bound Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in board action resolutions. These are items 9.2 through 9.31. Can I have a motion? Motion. Thank you, Mr. Zupko. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Minhas. I will open the discussion just by thanking the many donors who are graciously donating both funding and resources to the district. This is Falmouth Police Department, Somerset County Tech, Mr. Civilello, the Donors Choose Project, Mr. O'Malley, and W.E. Repro. So just an amazing outpouring from the community, and can't express our gratitude any more than that. Let's go to Dr. Sardo.
No, that's not thunder. Question on 9.14. Just a little clarification on that. For the elections, my understanding they're always November?
Yes, sir. On this board agenda, there, under board action, there's resolutions 9-14 to 9-22. They all pertain to the board's acceptance and commitment of ROD grants, which I'll outline in a second. The verbiage in these resolutions comes exactly from the New Jersey SDA, and they warn you in the guidelines, don't deviate even a word or a tense or anything. So they're copied and pasted exactly from the SDA, and we triple check all of the project numbers for accuracy. And again, these awards do, number one, they commit the board of education.
I'm sorry, one person.
9.14 to 9.22.
14 is about elections.
Yes, that's also related to the same thing.
Okay.
The New Jersey Schools Development Authority wants confirmation that the Board of Education has moved the board election previously from November to April. April to November, I beg your pardon. Which this Board of Education has, so we need to just confirm that in the.
Gotcha.
It's not changing the election that's previously been done, it's just confirming.
No, that's fine.
It also authorizes the business administrator to supervise the construction on these projects. And it commits the Board of Education to these projects and their willingness to accept the grant awards. And last week, we received from the New Jersey SDA the acceptance and authorization for these grants that are as follows. We applied for 14 grants for boilers, security upgrades, bathroom upgrades, and they approved the most material of the projects, which are the boilers. I think the state maybe underestimated the amount of volume of the grants and the scope of the school district's construction needs. So they really narrowed in on the skin of the facilities projects, which in our case was approval for, what I had hoped for the most was the boilers, because school boilers are one of the most expensive pieces of equipment in the school. And these are projects that are generally done through bond referendum to replace because they're too costly to put in an operational budget. We're very fortunate because we're able to do these in the operational budget because of the state participation of 66% of reimbursement of all costs. The high school is getting boilers and related equipment, including hot water heaters, costing an estimated $991,200, and the state's going to reimburse the district $656,409. Lamont Annex is going to receive boilers and related hot water heaters costing $138,800, and the state reimbursement is $555,553. Lafayette is going to receive boilers and related hot water heaters costing $970,800, and the state reimbursement is $642,979. And Smalley School, which has one of the more complex boiler systems in all spaces, is going to receive boilers and related cost of $1,834,240, and the state reimbursement is $1,214,852,000. That's a total project cost of about $4.6 million. The state reimbursement is about $3 million so far. Bound Brook's share is only $1.5 million to replace the worst boilers that are in need of replacement and long overdue in the district. These are going to be new equipment, they're going to be greener, they're going to save on utility bills going forward as opposed to these 1970 turn them on and open the windows, they only have one temperature style boilers. And this is a very large project in scope. It's a material upgrade to these buildings that will serve this community for at least 30 years to come. And if anybody has any questions about these, I'll be happy to talk about it. The next steps for this process is tonight's hopeful board resolution passing for these. Then certify the resolutions and submit all of the signed grant paperwork. Then once we receive back the fully executed grant agreement from the NJSDA, we will go out to bid. And then the Board of Education will award the bids, and then we can begin construction. It's expected that those latter steps will happen in this school year.
So, Mr. Gorski, just on behalf of the board, let me say thank you to you and your team for the work that you put in on this. I mean, all the way from you supported us in engaging with the architecture firm to draft all of these new agreements, which was no small feat in itself. To draft all the project plans. And while our entire wish list didn't get funded by the state, clearly a significant portion of what the district needs did. And it wouldn't have been done without all of the hard work that your team put in. So thank you for that. I know that, you know, from the community, whether it's the maintenance team or teachers and students in the rooms, I'm sure that they will all be happy to have a little bit more control over the temperature that they have to work in during the winter months. And just again, I want to actually say thank you to our senior members on board who've been here for a little while, as well as our predecessors, because we were in a financial position to actually take advantage of the grant program from the state, in part because of the diligence of the prior board administration, that we actually had the funding to go forward and say that we match and fund these projects out of pocket if necessary, which was all part and parcel of actually receiving the awards. So kudos to you guys for making good decisions in the past as well. Thank you.
I'd just like to echo on those comments and commend Dr. Freeman and Mr. Gorski and their teams for their work. I'm not sure the average person understands the level of complexity and bureaucracy that is associated with these grants, and they're wonderful opportunities that the state has provided us, and we're so happy that the district has pursued. But they're very, very difficult, and I think there's probably quite a few school districts throughout the state that are still reading the instructions, trying to figure it out. They make it beyond complicated, and there's so much value in having professional people who know the buildings, but also know the system, how to advance things through the process appropriately. And our district is benefiting to the tune of millions of dollars that will be upgraded services for our buildings. So thank you for your work and for stewarding us through this grant application process. It's as easy and as delightful as the government might make it sound. We are very grateful.
I wanted to say something too. It was almost a year ago that Lisa and I met at night, and we went to each of the buildings and saw the boilers and everything. It was actually very fascinating. And to think from that initial walkthrough of what was needed to now just signing off on this and actually seeing this happen is just phenomenal. It just is kudos. I wrote a note here. Thanks, Mike. I mean, it just, and the teamwork, Dr. Freeman, Mr. Gorski, just a wonderful team, and it really is benefiting the district. Thank you so much.
All right,
and certainly the operations committee led by Mr. Zupko had a lot of work with this too. There was a lot of review, especially in the early stages and project considerations, narrowing it down to these most consequential.
Listen, if my ego wasn't big enough now, that definitely makes it. No, but seriously, but thank you, everyone. It's just, you know what it is? We have a great team all around. We have and thank you, Mr. Dorsey, for that. I just wanted to switch quickly to 9.23, the fundraiser for Katie's Place. I wanted to say who put that together? Student? I have to say, kudos. I want to say thank you. And it reaffirms the hope we all have for our youth and for our community and for how caring when you look at TV and social media, you hear, a lot of the negative, but what incredible positive things coming out of our high school, coming out of our middle elementary schools. And this is just an example of, Mr. Smith, I can't tell you my hats off. Your kids are great. Our kids are great. And this is just an example of, one little, my grandfather used to say, a waterfall begins with a drop of water, right? And this is just exceptional. So my hats off to this single person that it is.
Can I jump in again? I have two things on here. One was 9.23 was the baby bottle project. So kudos for that again. And also the annual dodgeball coming up.
Oh.
Except I don't want to take another ball to the back of the head.
Well. Part of the game.
Yeah. The other thing was 9.7, surplus property of a mini tour bus. What's the mini tour bus?
Ms. Hyde, we have a older bus that was just replaced by one of the newer ones that we just purchased. And initially, we thought we could keep this one, and it's a smaller bus, that's why it's called a mini. Keep it as a spare, but one of our drivers and the mechanics involved took a closer look at it, and it needed an engine, it needed a transmission, it needed so many material parts that the replacement involved, and would have made it worth it. And it became to the point where it was unreliable to even use as a backup. So we're going to use a school-approved auction site called GovDeals to put it nationally. We've had success getting decent bids on those in the past. Thank you.
Any other comments or questions on section 9? Hearing none, we'll close the discussion and ask for a roll call.
Mr. Powell?
Yes.
Mr. Dawson?
Yes.
Ms. Gazino?
Yes.
Ms. Carlton?
Abstain.
Thank you. Mr. Zupko?
Yes.
Ms. Musin?
Yes.
Mr. Minhas?
Yes.
Ms. Hyde?
Yes.
Mr. Ballmer?
Yes.
Mr. Januzzi?
Yes.
Motion passes. Thank you.
We're up to item 10, other matters coming forward. So we will move to new business. Anything that the committee members would like to raise that was not on the agenda this evening?
Yeah, question. We had a family that was impacted by a fire, I'm sure you know. And I was told that we gave them some gift cards. And I'd asked the question, is there any way that the district can authorize an individual or a team to go to the ShopRites, the Costco's, the Targets, and solicit gift cards for people that have needs? I say this because I have a friend of mine who was with the Salvation Army and the emergency director coordinator, and he was always getting donations. It's nice to give them a $100 gift card and pay for a hotel for one night, but we are a community, and I'd like to think that we in the school are a family. This is a family member that's hurting. And I think that there's ways that we can reach out to the local businesses and say, we have a need, we got 10,000 people in this town, and a significant number of us go to Costco. Can Costco help out? I don't know what the process, what the procedure would be. But if we got needy families that really need some help, I think it'd be some way to explore it.
So we did take an active measure in that way. We have multiple counselors from Smalley and social workers as well, reaching out to both the local services. So we reached out to the local police contact here as well. We reached out to ShopRite, to Costco, to other places to ask for donations. We also have David McPortman, who's our business contact, reaching out for donations as well. So we are taking your advice, and we have a point person in Emily Iannello, as a counselor, connecting with all the different populations out there, but working directly with the family. So we brought them to various resources. We certainly actively have been on this since the day after it happened. So what you just said, yes and no it is.
Amen, thank you.
Any other items for new business from the committee members? I was trying to remember what I was gonna bring up, but that's what it was. So we talked a little bit at the operations committee, if you all can see up above, about the beautiful stained glass windows that are in the ceiling panels of the auditorium here. And we learned from Roberto Molina, who's our Director of Buildings and Grounds, that there actually were lights up there. So tonight, we actually have them on so that everybody can see what they look like. And while it does appear that there are some signs of aging, and we could probably use a touch-up in certain places, it's a beautiful element, to the auditorium, and one that's not common in the area. So, Roberto, if you are watching or seeing this on replay, thank you very much for making that happen. That was great. All right, so if there's no other new business, we will open to the public for open discussion. Any comments from the room? You good? All right. Tom, do you have any comments online?
Just refresh the page. I am not seeing any.
So then we are up to item 13.1. Be it resolved that the Bound Board of Education enters executive session as allowed by NJSA 10:4-11 for the purposes noted here, which I believe are 1, 3, 4, 7, and 8. There you go.
We got a new one.
We got a full night tonight. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Bell. Second. Thank you, Mr. Zacco. All in favor? Aye. You're adjourned to executive.
Let us go.
All right. You're live.
All right, everybody, we are up to item 14.1. Be it resolved that the Brownwood Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in HIV cases on our high school. This is 14.2 and 14.3. Can I have a motion?
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Dawson, a second.
Second.
Thank you, Ms. Hyde. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bell.
Yes.
Mr. Dawson.
Yes.
Ms. Casino.
Yes.
Ms. Carlton.
Yes.
Mr. Zupko.
Yes.
Ms. Musin.
Yes.
Mr. Minhas.
Yes.
Ms. Hyde.
Yes.
Mr. Palmer.
Yes.
Mr. Januzzi.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. We are up to item 15.1. Be it resolved that the Brownwood Board of Education approves the resolutions as outlined in HIV cases on the middle and elementary schools. This is item 15.2 and 15.3. Can you have a motion?
Well,
Go ahead, Mike.
go ahead.
How about you Mike the motion and Ms. Hyde
Like
gets
the motion.
My explanation.
Before this goes any further, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Bell.
Yes.
Mr. Dawson.
Yes.
Ms. Casino.
Yes.
Ms. Carlton.
Abstain.
Thank you. Mr. Zupko.
Yes.
Ms. Musin.
Yes.
Mr. Minhas.
Yes.
Ms. Hyde.
Yes.
Mr. Palmer.
Yes.
Mr. Januzzi.
Yes.
Motion passes.
Thank you. We are up to item 16, which is a motion to adjourn.
Motion.
Thank you, Mr. Powell, second.
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Zupko. All in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.